Welcome back to the vlog, ladies and gentlemen. So today I got some fun stuff planned. We are headed down to my uncle's house in Lakewood. That's where our shop is. He's got all the tools, everything you could think of, everything needed to do car stuff done. We are taking the BMW down there today to get the differential welded. So I'm going to try to get some before and after, like U-turn kind of style stuff, you know, turning it all the way to the left, seeing, you know, how tight of a turn it makes, because it does pretty solid right now. And I know the welded diff, since it's changing up the geometry of the wheels, how fast, you know, one side turns compared to the other. We'll see if we're making the fancy welded diff noises, chirping tires going around the corner, or if, you know, if it's pretty solid. So got to run over to the parts store to get some gear fluid. I'm just gonna probably grab some either 7590 or 8090, just so I can get the fluid replaced after I weld it up. And then I got the diff plates in here from Drift HQ. Bought these last week, finally showed up like Friday. So let me grab these out real quick. So these are the plates that we're working with. So you just set these into the differential and they kind of act as a locker. Instead of filling it with weld, you use these to kind of take all of the pressure, you know, usually you just weld it up, weld all four corners, spin it, weld all floor, weld all four. But this is going to help actually stop it, make it a little bit stronger. Should be pretty solid. So I'm gonna catch you guys down there on the drive, and then when I get there, we'll get going. Guys, so I just got over to my uncle's house, so I'm gonna do a little bit like a before right here with just doing some circles just to show you guys the wheelbase kind of turning angle, and then after we get the welded diff, I'll be showing another version of this. So let's see how tight of a circle we can make. Obviously gonna trim that out a little bit, but we couldn't even make it around this in my my neighborhood where I live now. I can make it fully around, so not as good as I thought it was, but let's see how worse it gets. All right, guys, so this is what we're gonna be taking out today. So I got onto the car, got everything raised up. I don't have an Allen wrench big enough, but this bolt fits perfect. So I'm gonna be using this to get the drain plug out so I can get my fluid out, and then we can start working away getting it out. I'm not going to be showing too much of the process of removing the diff. The big process that I'm going to be showing you guys is welding the diff and the after application of how it works with the diff welded. So got all the fluid out. Now I'm going to work at getting rid of the sway bar, so get room back there, and then start pulling this thing out. All right, guys, so I'm going to start with removing this speedo clip. Once you get that removed, you just slide it back out of this clip. Now we're going to start working on the drive shaft bolts. Once we do the drive shaft bolts, we'll move over to the axle bolts. Then we'll move on to the subframe bolts holding it to the car. Then we'll get this pulled out. So the best way to get the drive shaft bolts out is to double wrench it like this. It's a tight spot, so using a box wrench is the best. And then you put your other wrench on kind of like this, you know, just slide it on. So that way you can get enough leverage to get those bolts loose. So I got those bolts out right there. Now I'm going to start working on getting the axle bolts removed, so we get this out of here. Into my first issue. So I didn't know this. On the axles, it actually takes a torque socket. I should have known, European car. Well, my uncle came in clutch. I have a torque socket set from like probably the early 90s. They used to have a truck shop, so they got all sorts of stuff. You know, he's building this truck, but you guys do need an E12 torque socket in order to get these axles off. So now that I got the socket, I'm gonna start working on these axles. They haven't been removed in a while, so probably gonna end up using a extension and a ratchet and try to get as much torque as I can. Get it, torque. And I'm gonna get these axles removed and then start working on getting the diff popped out of the car. So this is that torque socket. You guys see how special that is? So let me roll down here and pop up underneath the car. So oh. These are the torque sockets that gets the axle out, and then we can start dropping the diff bolts. So I'm gonna start working on these. They're pretty bad, so hopefully they all come out pretty smooth. Differential's now out. Now let's open up this casing and see what we're dealing with. I got the cover off. I've just been cleaning this area up, so my plate lockers. I'm just gonna sit in here. You just gotta line them up, line up the gears. Just using some non-chlorinated brake clean. Just sitting in here, just torching this down, following it with a rag, making sure I can try to get as much grease up out of here as possible. I wish I had some chlorinated brake clean because it would clean this up way better. But at this point, it's pretty clean. Following it with an air gun to dry it up. And at this point, I think I'm gonna start welding the plates on. Probably won't show you because it's not that easy, but let me get to it. All right, I believe this is how they're supposed to sit. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tack, 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 and then start filling it around the outsides and then get to the other side. Let's see how it goes. Taking those welds, baby. The other side I went a little overkill, but it's gonna be pretty solid for what it is. So now I'm going to reassemble the diff and start putting it back into the car, and we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. I got the case back together. I'm gonna pop the fill plug, and I'm going to add my 1.5 quart of gear fluid in here. Just do it now because this is kind of a pain to get to, and then I'm gonna reinstall this and get going on it. Whew, guys, so it's been a process. It's been just a slow process, you know, working in the driveway. It's just, you know, it gets old after a while, so I've just been taking my time. So I'm just filling up my 1.5 quart of diff fluid, then the diff's going back in. You got the 3 bolts that hold it up, then the 12 bolts total for the axles, 4 bolts total for the drive shaft, and then, guys, it's done. It's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna start working at this. I didn't bring my short tripod, so I can't show you guys what's going on underneath the car, and my dad's not helping me film, so I'll just kind of keep you guys updated with where I'm at. Well, that's what we want to be seeing. Everything going together all at once. What's your take on that?
What? It's incredible.
Great.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
The coolest thing you guys have yet to see in all your mechanics years?
Yeah, it's a wonderment of man.
That's all we need to know. Sorry, I look like an absolute spotted leopard. So everything's finished up. I'm driving, it's fantastic. I'm now getting the chirping tires around the corners. I'm gonna wait till I get home, just make sure everything's going smoothly before I start yanking hard left or right turns to kind of see what the radius is all about. And hopefully before the end of this video, I can at least get one clip of sending it around a corner or something. We'll see if I can find a private course. So we'll see what's happening, but everything's running great so far. Pretty smooth process overall. Welds didn't come out terrible. Everything's lined up as it should. So shout out to Drift HQ for selling solid parts. But I'm just gonna keep running this till I get home and kind of see where we're at. All right, everyone. I'm gonna crank this and listen to the diff. Got a solid diff, boys and girls. So I'm gonna park this up real quick, throw it into the spot. We've made it home successfully with a welded diff. Everything is solid. So far feels great. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to get you guys 1 or 2 sliding clips, probably either after this one or the next one. We'll see. We'll see which clip comes next. But other than that, this video is getting filmed on Monday. It's gonna go up this Friday. So happy Friday. Enjoy the Friday. While you guys are watching this, I'm going to be in Vegas, and I'm gonna just do more of just like a simple vlog style. No cars on this one. Well, maybe. Peyton's cousin is getting married, and Peyton's other cousin told us that he might have a car surprise for us. We're gonna see. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it entails, but you guys know Vegas is pretty crazy. So hopefully that's gonna be cool. Like I said, you know, hopefully I got another clip for you guys after this of sliding it. We'll see what happens, but other than that, I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.